You're listening to Erica Latrice on the air. Your one-stop shop for inspiration. Visit us online at www.ericalatrice.com. Embody the movement, empower your life. Now, here is your host, Erica.
Hello and welcome. I am Erica Latrice, and this is your one-stop shop for inspiration. Now, if you are listening to today's show, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I say this a lot. I say grab your notepad, lean in a little closer. But seriously, if you are someone and you've been talking about sharing your message on more platforms, you've been thinking about, how do I book more speaking opportunities? How do I get my message out? How do I, I'm seeing all these people on television and hearing them on radio. How do I position myself for that to be my story? Well, my special guest today has all the inside scoop. She has been featured on the red carpet. She has partnered with Hollywood reporters. You've seen her on CNN, Headline News. She is just incredible. And I had the privilege of connecting with her while we were doing press at another event. And I'm telling you guys, lean closer, grab your notepad. I want to welcome to our show today the beautiful Miss Kim Ford. How are you doing today, Kim?
Oh my gosh, that was such a great intro. Can I keep you with me? Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. I love it. Glad to be here.
Yes. So I first want to kick it off. I love to talk about going behind the story, because I know a lot of times we see people, especially you know how this is when we see celebrities and we see these people on these platforms, and sometimes it can feel like they're larger than life and it happens for them, but there's no way, it can happen for us. So you have a very powerful story, how you transitioned from disappointment and moving to the other side, and now you inspire literally millions around the world. So can you tell us a little bit about how you got started down this path?
Yeah, I launched my initial site back in online magazine back in 2007. And at the time, I was going through a divorce. And while I was married, I would kind of Google, kind of print out some articles on how to start a magazine. And I would just put them up because, and the marriage that I was in, I couldn't really do that much. When I say I couldn't, but I would just say he wasn't supportive. He would downplay it. And so by the time we were actually divorced, it was very traumatic. I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do with my life right now? Because I thought that was it. Of course, who gets married thinking that it's going to be, going to end. And I said, you know what? I'm going to pull back all those notes that I've been researching and wanted to do about this online magazine, because I know God put this in my heart and in my spirit for a reason. And I pulled it out, and I remember October 15, 2007. That's the day I moved out. That's the day we separated, and that's the day I was free to really dive into building my brand. And the first major event that I requested, at the time, let me back up a little bit more. At the time, that was before WordPress, Squarespace, before social media, before anything that makes it easy right now for people to launch their brand.
Yes.
Today. If you wanted to launch it today, you can do it today. But back then, if you wanted a website, you had to pay someone thousands of dollars just to build your site. And when you're figuring something out, you don't just have $1,000 to just blow because you're trying to figure something out. So at the time, Yahoo had, a user-friendly enough site builder that I used. So I built my own website. I put some content on it. I knew friends had some events, and I posted it. And so the first major event that I requested credentials to cover was the BET Hip Hop Awards in 2007. They didn't know I was new. They didn't know I didn't really know what I was doing. I just had the confidence, I'll need to be there, and I'll figure it out when I get there. And so, lo and behold, they said yes. I was like, oh, my God. They said yes. This is my first, major thing. So I get there. I see the red carpet. I see, at the time, Roxy and Terrence J. They were doing 106 Park. And I'm like, oh, my God, I am, really, really here. And so I just kind of watched people that really did know what they were doing and kind of adapted whatever worked for me. So I asked my questions just like they asked their questions, and I still got my content. So from event to event, over time, I've made relationships with publicists, managers, with the artists themselves, and because they know I'm professional, I do great work, I'm consistent, and so they just keep inviting me out more and more, ever since then. And now I just check my email to see what's going on. But yeah, that's how I got started. It wasn't easy. It hasn't been easy. Like I said, I was I was a single mom, had 2 kids. They were like about 10 years apart. So thankfully, my daughter was able to help me with my son. But I didn't have anyone, this was the case with my ex-husband, telling me, what I couldn't do. Well, no, you don't need to go there. Or why are you wearing that? Or when are you coming back? Just a bunch of hate, and put it easily and plainly, to where you just felt like everything you did, you had to stop because you had to cater to something else he brought up that he wanted me to do instead of pursuing what I wanted to do.
Can we do a praise break, Kim? I had to pause for a second because listen, I am telling you, there's so many of you all listening too may be able to relate to this, but so often it's like being single, being a single mom, all of these things are looked at as like, I'm so sorry for you, worst case scenario. But what you just shared is like, that's a power, like key number one, maximize your current situation and see the positive side of it, because something that most people could take as a negative, like I'm a single mom, it won't work. I overstand everything that you just said, where you don't have someone breathing down your neck telling you what you can and can't do.
Oh, my
That's
God.
Powerful.
Yes. Because a lot of times women think, oh, well, my life is over, and they just let themselves go. They just lose all hope and ambition because of this human that God is not God is the head, the ultimate head. So just because the person that was supposed to be your support and your husband didn't carry out his part, God's plan is still sovereign over anything that they're not supporting, So, and because I knew that, I'm like, yes, he was my husband. Yes, I was submitted to him because I'm a Christian. That's what I believe. The man is the head. So yes, I believed all that, but I knew for sure that God's plan for me superseded anything else. So I was like, you know what? I'm not, but trust me, I did have my moment, to where I had to pick myself up. I'm like, okay, girl, you got to stop crying. You got to get out this house. You're going to need to get dressed. And you need to pick yourself up and get your life moving. Like, get cute again, and let's get this rolling. And so that's what I did. I didn't know every step. Like I said, my degree is in psychology. I don't have a degree in media. I had to figure every single step out. And the way technology kept changing, I was always learning something, but that didn't stop me, because doing it is better than not doing it. It doesn't have to be perfect. But, yeah, what I was not going to do is just give up and allow him to just take me down and my purpose down. If anything, I'm going to get better because I know I did my part. So, yeah, that's kind of was some of my motivation for making sure I walk this thing out.
Wow. So I'm over here like doing backflips. I want to just like, it's like, all right, mic drop, the end. Because too often we feel like, for one, my degree is in history, so I so understand it. And it's like, you feel like there's one way to do everything. And I don't know if you can relate to this, where everyone, they call you you're the next Oprah, you're the and it's like, no, I'm the first me, Right. There's no one way to do these things. So this is already inspiring. I literally feel like I could just end this interview right now. But it's something that you have done. It has been like just so incredible to me. Now, to your point, you're walking the red carpet. You recently were at Tyler Perry's grand opening that has like shut all of the internet down in this current season on every corner. Have you ever had like a pinch me moment in this, like not realizing how big it was going to become when you first set out?
Oh my God. When I tell you, I have been doing this for 12 years. I have seen some pretty amazing events, some pretty amazing red carpets. But hands down, last weekend was the best weekend of my life. Like, it was so, and let me tell you, this is my my third time encountering Tyler Perry. And every time someone asks me who's the biggest, person I've interviewed, I always say him because he always leaves me something that's profound. Like the first time I interviewed him, it was when Kim Kardashian was in his film. They had the premiere here, and it included an invite to his home. So just the fact that we were able to go to his home, well, home is a very small word, let's say an estate. Just because we were invited to come to his estate, and just to know that he used to live in a small geo metro, and now we're walking up the steps to his estate, and everything I saw inside. I'm like, what? My mind was just blown. And so last weekend at the opening of his studio, of Tyler Perry Studios, we were all just so full. He was full. I couldn't believe, I'm sitting here looking at Denzel Washington. I'm sitting here sitting here literally talking to Will Smith. Like, if I would have really explained to somebody what that day was, they would have been like, girl, you lying. But I promise you, I'm not. Like, after the carpet, I literally jumped on the trolley, and it was me and Diddy and Quincy. And it was just us three riding on the trolley to the reception. I'm like, how in the world is this happening right now? But
Kim, I was there with you in my head, like following. By the way, she's gonna share all her links so you can follow. I'm like following on Instagram. Yes. It's like me and Kim just roll with Sean, right? Like, I love how you keep everyone up to date. But yes,
girl, yes, I have it all on my Insta story, right? My IG story and my highlights. So if you go to I am Kim Ford on Instagram and under highlights, tap Tyler Perry. I gave the play by play from the shuttle getting there to after midnight when it was time to go. My mind was just like, oh my God, talking to Tyler, talking to Oprah, talking to Viola Davis, seeing the ladies from The Real, and I absolutely love that show. It was just, so mind-blowing. It just really shows you, no matter where you come from or what your background is, how terrible and embarrassing and shameful it is. God can elevate you bigger than anything that you could ever imagine, because right now his studio is 330 acres, bigger than all of the Hollywood studios put together, meaning all of Warner Brothers, Sony, everything in L.A. We put all those studios together. His is still bigger. It just blew my mind. And I couldn't, honestly, people were asking me how was it for like days afterward, and I would give very minimal words because I couldn't speak. It was like I had met a Jesus moment. I couldn't talk. I was just like,
I love it.
On mute. It was just so emotional. And he gave us all a charge. And the reason why he had it was because when he attended Oprah's Legends Ball, I don't know if you remember, in 2005, Oprah had a Legends Ball where she invited like Diana Ross and Tom Cruise and Sidney Poitier, all these wonderful people. And he had the same experience, like, what am I doing here? And he didn't realize it, but he said it out loud. And this is what I talk about in the story in the Hollywood Reporter. He thought he said it to himself, but he said it out loud, and Yolanda Adams was sitting next to him, and she said, because you belong here. And when I tell you, I had that same experience, and someone I truly admire there told me the same thing, like, you belong here, because I'm standing there saying the same thing. So his charge is the way that we all felt coming to his grand opening. He wants us to do whatever God has called us to do, because there's somebody that's connected to our mission, to our passion, to our vision that we don't even know, haven't met yet, but because we carry it out, their lives are forever going to be changed. So I already know what mine is going to be, and I will keep you in the loop on that, but I absolutely want to make so many more people feel the way that I felt, which was speechless at his grand opening. It was just A1 top-notch service. So
I'm getting chills. Like, I feel like I was like literally like, oh. And this is something that you just said. And again, ladies, if you're listening and you've ever had that moment where you've seen the vision, you had no idea how it's going to happen. Like, I know there were times, and I'm sure you can relate, Kim, like dreams that I've had or moments where it's like, okay, nothing in my circumstance looks like what's about to happen or what that vision that I have. Tyler Perry, I'm sure when he first used up all his savings to rent out a theater and it was empty, it's like nothing looked like, this was about to happen. And that pinch me moment, how you just shared, like, you're supposed to be there. And I remember the moment for me was the first time I was within arm's reach of Jada Pinkett and, Regina Hall, or you're seeing all these people that you grew up watching, and here they are looking at you, you're a peer. And that is a mind-blowing experience, because it's one of those things, like one of the things that you just said about the consistency and knowing who you are and not being afraid to really pursue that thing, because if you don't know what's on the other side. So I want to transition. Right. Okay. What advice would you give to that woman? She has this vision. Maybe she's hesitant to step out. And we also have a resource. So you guys want to listen to the end, because Kim has an incredible resource. and I have something that I'm adding to her resource that I know will benefit you. But what would you say to that woman who has this vision and maybe nothing in her circumstances looks like where she's going? What advice would you give to her?
I would give her one, to pray and ask for guidance, because you're not in this alone. The next thing I would do is say, do the work. Like, we can't just, pray and hope and wish things would change. We have to do the work. So even when everything is around you is telling you you can't do it, you don't have the money, you don't have the resources, you don't have the time, you have to figure it out. It's been figured out so many times. I had to figure it out. Tyler had to figure it out. So many people have overcome substantial circumstances to figure it out. Start with Google. Reach out to someone that could possibly mentor you. Take a course. You got to self-educate yourself. Even maybe you live somewhere that's a very, very small town, and you're nowhere near any resources. That's why we have the internet. That's how we have Skype and Wi-Fi and FaceTime. The information is there. You just have to dig deep, do the research, and that's pretty much what I talk about in the course. We'll talk about that later on. But you can do it. Because what if I would have listened to my ex-husband and said, well, nobody's going to care about that? What if I would have listened to him? And for me, it was an ex-husband. For someone else, it could be a parent, could be someone close, a close friend, a coworker, whomever it is. You have to get those people out of your circle, out of your ear. And I used to say that all the time. I'm like, how do you do that when you live with that person and you have to hear that every single day? It's possible. Yes. It is possible. It seems like it wears on your conscience and your spirit and your emotions, but you have to change your surroundings. And once I was able to get out of that house and change my surroundings and just get me and God and my kids, well, nobody can tell me. And I'm not here to break up nobody's home at all whatsoever. So don't say, Kim, tell me to leave. That's not what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is make sure you get in an environment to where you can hear. And at that point, you have to be confident. You have to, fill your spirit and your mind with content that says you're confident. Even if you have to speak those words every day, even if you do confessions and affirmations every day, even if you don't feel it when you say it, keep saying it, keep believing it. Surround yourself with women that are like-minded, that are doing big things, and I promise you it will come. It probably won't come overnight, but it will come if you keep going.
Wow. I feel like you should invoice us all for today's interview. Ladies, these are it's golden nuggets, because as you just said, faith without works is dead. And it's in those moments where you can have the vision all day, but until you're ready to face the giants. Like, I always reference, everyone that knows me knows I'm always taking it to Joshua 1 when he was getting ready to go and inherit his promise, and it was like, heads up, there are going to be some giants. So for many of us, you have the heads up. There are going to be naysayers. There are going to be times where your bank account does not match the vision. There will be times where the opportunities, you're getting overlooked, but it's in that consistency and it's in that knowing. And I want to finish with this, and then we're going to let you guys know how you can get support, how you can launch your own media outlet, how you can become your industry's rock star. And this is a direct quote from Kim's workshop. But I had a conversation about how do you know when it's time to fight for it and when it's time to just say, forget it, it's not working. And my sister actually told me this, so I'll give her a shout out. Again, I keep quoting her, Jarena. But you do not stop fighting until the vision has come to fruition. Had Tyler sat down the day that only 30 people showed up, we wouldn't even know anything about what you just experienced this past weekend. So it's imperative. It's imperative. If you have a vision, you never know who it's going to be a blessing to. And so Kim is about to bless you guys, and I have something as well. If you are someone, you're listening, you have been thinking about this vision, you know that you're ready to share your message. And the mission of Amplify Her, my organization, is to expand her reach, increase her voice to stand on her story. So, Kim, you have a resource. It's an online workshop that these women that are listening can plug into. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So what it is a replay of a workshop that I taught in New York, in Times Square, at the Black Women in Media Conference. And so many times people ask me, hey, how did you start? How did you end up on these red carpets? How are you next to all these celebrities? How do you get access to all of this? It's not that they're calling me and I just know who they are by any means. I had to do the work. So I created this course because if you're an author, a speaker, an entrepreneur, a career changer, whatever it is, whatever your brand is, this course will help you because it'll show you how to become the expert of your industry. Yes, we have CNN, we have the Food Network, we have, Gary Vee, who's a personality and, obviously an entrepreneur, but he is a master of his field. So whatever your field is, I show you how to find your niche, how to choose a topic for your name, basically how to get started. Maybe you just wrote a book or you've been written a book or maybe you have a business, whether it's real estate. Well, no matter what your business is, you need to be the expert. When someone mentions real estate or whatever your field is, how do they instantly think about you? How does CNN end up calling you? You have to have, in my opinion, your own media outlet, something that you own, whether it's your podcast, whether it's your blog, your website, your YouTube channel, and fill it with content. Absolutely fill it with your expertise. But I show you, how do you find your audience? How do you monetize it? How do you, if you have this book, how do you turn just from having book sales, how do you turn that into a course and build this massive fan-like following? How do you build your email list? You don't just know this because this definitely is not taught in schools. It should be, but it's not. But it teaches you how to become the rock star of your industry. And this is exactly what I did. It is the blueprint to what I did. I didn't have anyone to show me or tell me how to do this, but and also a lot of times when individuals pitch me as media and say, hey, can you feature my artist on your site? The artist doesn't have any proper links. Their social media is not something I would share. It's like you're not even ready for media yet. Let's back up 15 steps and go to step 1, and let's clean up your graphics. So, if your graphics aren't up to par and look professional, I'm not sharing that with my media outlet. You're not ready. So, in addition to the course, I also do media coaching. I forgot to mention that earlier, but I do media coaching to show, hey, you do have a brand, you want Essence, or I keep saying CNN because it just comes off the top of my head, CNN or other major media outlets to share your content, but it has to look a certain way. You have to have certain things already in place online before they can take you seriously. Otherwise, your email will get ignored. Just like I ignore plenty of emails because I do not have time to go through and babysit and hold everyone's hand of change this, fix that. I can't do that as the media outlet. That's what a coach is for. So that's what I do for entrepreneurs that need to clean up some things, or if they have a fear of speaking. Maybe they're great with their project, but they're kind of scared to be the face of their project, right, of their product. And here's the thing I want to tell you, people buy from people. So if they see your Instagram and say you sell, I don't know, juice, fitness juice, I don't know, I just made that up. And if your Instagram is nothing but juice bottles and fruits and berries, that's not going to give any engagement because people can't connect with you. But if they see videos of you telling the benefits of why they need your juice, testimonials of people using it, photos of people using it and the results that they've gotten, dropping, so much knowledge and show your personality a little bit, yeah, you're going to get people engaging with you because they can connect with you. So those are the changes I kind of show people how to make between my course and the coaching that I do. And I want to offer it to your audience because, ladies, it's no excuse why we have to say, oh, I've always wanted to start XYZ. I've always wanted to start this podcast or a website or whatever. You have to seek. You have to find it. The information is out there. It's not like when I first started. It's that there's so much more information, good information out there where I just walk you all the way through it, and you can launch it.
Yes, we're gonna have to have like a part 2 through 10 of this interview because
Okay.
there's so much to be said. And women who are listening, if you don't invest in yourself, and this is what I learned early on, if you don't invest in yourself, you can't get frustrated because freebieing your way through life is not going to get you to where you need to be. And there are people like Kim who just shared, and myself, who have had to go through how you mentioned that 2007 website. You needed to know PHP, HTML coding.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you could not just throw something up. And so I would encourage you guys, and it's actually ironic with Kim's workshop being in Times Square because it's a perfect way to prepare yourself. We have our Amplify Her Live NYC event coming up, depending on the time that you're hearing this, and that link will be available at amplifyherlife.com. But you want to be in the building. You want to invest in resources like Kim's workshop, and you want to step on stage if you know that you have a message that you're ready to share and you're ready to hone those skills so you're not just out here with a vision but no vehicle to bring it to fruition. Then I'm telling you all, get connected, stay connected. And a thing that I'm offering right now, if you get Kim's workshop, literally purchase the workshop and show your receipt page, for the first 5 people that purchase that, just send an email to info@ericalatrice.com with your receipt, and I will be waiving your digital ticket for the New York event. Now, if you are someone and you are listening and you know that you have a message, you're ready to step out, you're ready to share your message, you're ready to step on stage, you're ready to have a platform and get that support around it, then I would encourage you to go to amplifyherlife.com right now and apply to be a step on stage speaker, where you would get all those resources to start sharing your message in a big way. So, Kim, for those who are listening, who want to get connected with you, stay connected with you, what's the best way that they can get in touch?
Absolutely. Follow me everywhere on social media at I am Kim Ford, like Tom Ford, but it's Kim Ford. I'm mostly on Instagram, but I am also on Facebook and Twitter, and that's where you, and definitely my Insta story, but that's where I share all the good. And definitely, if you go to IamKimFord.com, please join my email list, because sometimes I send things to my email list before I post it. If I post it on social media, I send the very special things to my email list. So I would love to have you as part of my tribe.
I love it. Kim, thank you so much for taking time out to be on the show today. I definitely enjoyed it. I'm like over here taking notes myself. Some good stuff.
For more inspiration, visit us online at ericalatrice.com.